I upgraded my wheelbase, wheel, and pedals to a Fanatec Gran Turismo DD Pro a little over a year ago, and it's been great, but I always had my eye on the McLaren GT3 wheel, and over Christmas I fell into some money and decided to pull the trigger. It's an awesome wheel. The only thing that bothered is a strong word, but the only thing that kind of bothered me about it was the branding on it, which I know for some people they love it and they want it to, you know, I don't know what they want out of it, to be honest with you. I decided I wanted to rebrand it using lovely stickers and put a vinyl cover over it, basically, that would match for Gran Turismo. So it wasn't I don't know, it just seems weird having a McLaren GT3 wheel when you're driving a Ferrari 458, for example. So I went down the list. You can see they've got a ton of different versions available for this wheel, and found one that is specifically Gran Turismo 7 branded, designed, and I thought, yeah, that looks pretty cool. It was about, I don't even remember now, they have it listed for $20 or euros, I'm not sure. So it was under 30 US dollars, and that seemed worth the gamble to me to go ahead and get it and put it on my wheel. Watched a couple of videos to see how to apply it, and then now I'm going to show you how I did it. You can see it's all on one sheet of vinyl. It's, I think, pretty substantial vinyl. It did not feel like it was going to be easy to tear. And so the first thing I did here is remove the knobs that frankly don't do much in Gran Turismo for those encoders, which is kind of a shame, but it is what it is. And once I got those off, then I cleaned the surface, this like carbon fiber-ish looking surface, with some, essentially it's rubbing alcohol and a microfiber cloth. Got everything wiped down so I could get any grease, dirt, dust, whatever off of there, and that stuff dried pretty quickly. But as we skip ahead, I decided to start with what I thought was going to be the easier application, which is this center triangular section. I carefully peeled that off and got rid of kind of the dead sections there, so in the middle, and then I kind of missed the one that goes over that little tiny push button switch until I put it on, and it sort of popped off by itself. You'll see that happen in a second here. Really, this section was pretty easy to get on here. You're just trying to line it up. I would think this is fairly self-explanatory, but you're just aligning it with those encoders. And once I had it on there, you're just pressing on there, and then I used the microfiber to kind of push any air bubbles out. But on this one, it really wasn't too bad. You could see I did peel it back at one point, so if you don't get it exactly right, it's not quite like 3M tape, Velcro or dual-sided tape, some of that kind of stuff that, like, once it's on, that's it, you missed it, you're starting over. So you can kind of redo if you didn't get the alignment dead on. And yeah, that went pretty easy. It was very, very straightforward. After reading tutorials and seeing some videos, it seemed like the best way to do this was to start at the bottom and kind of peel the backing of the sticker off as you apply it to the wheel. So that is what I tried, and I just got the bottom loose. No tearing, like all of the cuts on the vinyl seemed to work pretty well. Then I took a pen and popped out some of those little holes, those void holes that are, not going to be used, and just got those to the side. And once I felt like I had, okay, enough to start with here on the bottom section, I peeled about halfway off and started to line it up, and then quickly realized that was not going to work. I just couldn't really see what I was doing, and that method just didn't seem like it was going to work. So instead, I carefully peeled everything off all the way around. I did go very slow because at the top there are some really thin vinyl sections, and although I didn't tear anything, it did feel like if you were, you know, a little rough with this and not paying attention, you could easily rip this thing. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I decided I was going to be a little bit more careful about it. So it's a little tedious, not too bad though. Once I had that whole sticker off, I did still go from the bottom and lining it up mostly with the screw holes and kind of looking at the very bottom screw holes, and then the next or screws I should say, and then seeing the next screws up and really just using that as my alignment marks. And the bottom went on pretty well, and you'll see here as I'm working my way up, the alignment seemed pretty good. It's not perfect, but it was pretty good. And then I was going very slow and just trying to make sure I'm working out the air bubbles. I wasn't so much concerned about the air bubbles as I was getting the alignment right. And then I was going to try to go up on the do the upper left side here as I start working my way up. So I had another void there that I needed to get out. And as I was trying to do both sections at the same time, it was I couldn't really concentrate and get them. I didn't think I could get both at the same time. So I took that same guitar pick that I used in the beginning to pop the encoders, the encoder switch knobs off. That kind of held that right side from flipping up and getting stuck on the wheel, so I could just concentrate on the left side. And I think that did help. You can see how thin some of that vinyl is, and it's a little tricky getting around the, lining up on the holes and going around that neutral button, the N button you can see there, and then the LSB button all the way in the upper left. So it was not perfect. I could see by the time I got to the top of the wheel, the hole where that screw is, right where my thumb just was not perfectly lined up. But the vinyl is a little bit stretchy too, so you could kind of pull it in. But I was feeling like I'm not going for perfection here. I really didn't want to try to, I didn't want to end up stretching it so much that I ruined something. So I was going more for, as long as I get these around the buttons and those are dead lined up, I could live with a little bit of imperfection on some of these other things. So because I don't know so much that it's you need to stretch it into place as it is like there's probably just tolerances in printing and cutting vinyl like this that it's not going to be 100%. But you can see, looks pretty great. I think I like it a lot, and that first look was like, yeah, this is worth it. And then I just took the microfiber cloth and combination really of the microfiber cloth and that guitar pick to try to smooth it out and push any of the air out. It didn't seem like I had too many air bubbles to deal with. There were a couple though, and I just push them out, and I think you've got a little bit more margin on something like this than like a screen protector on a phone where one speck of dust or one air bubble is going to drive you nuts, or drive me nuts anyway. Certainly for me, that's cause to peel it off and start over. But there you go. I'd say this is probably about a 2 out of 5 on the difficulty scale. You just have to take your time, and aligning it I think is the most difficult part. This like smoothing it out was pretty easy once it's on there, and there is a little bit of flexibility that you can kind of like push part of the sticker to align a little better. And yeah, that guitar pick, something like that would come in real handy. You definitely would not want to use something metal on here. I think you're going to dig in and cause some damage. But yeah, air bubbles out, and this guy looks nice and smooth. Here is the final product in some halfway decent lighting. I like it. I think this turned out really well, and I prefer this look over the McLaren branding. I know not everybody does. Let me know what you think. You like the McLaren look? For me, having the wheel match my dashboard and the Gran Turismo branding on screen was worth it. I prefer this look. It just ties everything together. So, but everybody's got their own opinion on that, right? So thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button, and let me know what other kind of mods or projects you would like to see on this channel. See you next time.